Usually when we talk about engineering, there is this expectation of pure precision.
Right. It's exact.
Yeah, exactly. You design a bridge, you calculate the load, you pour the concrete, and the math it guarantees it will hold.
You follow the formula, you get the result.
Then you try to engineer a new medical treatment and, test it on the human body. And suddenly that pristine math meets the absolute chaos of biology.
Oh, yeah. Chaos is the right word for it.
Designing a clinical trial is like building a bridge where the concrete it's constantly changing its mind.
That is a perfect way to put it. I mean,
Yeah.
human biology is messy, it's unpredictable, and it's brilliantly complex.
Definitely.
And, well, that is exactly why the rules for testing on humans have to be incredibly rigid,
Yeah.
to compensate for all that chaos.
And that rigid machinery is exactly what we are mastering today. So welcome to this special deep dive. We have a highly focused mission for you today.
We really do.
We are tackling a high-yield study session on Lecture 20, Conducting Clinical Trials. And the goal here is to prep you entirely for your exam by walking through 30 essential multiple-choice questions.
But here is the catch. We aren't just going to read a textbook at you.
No, definitely not.
The secret to passing this exam isn't rote memorization. It's understanding the underlying logic. Once you grasp why the rules exist, the correct multiple-choice answers just become, well, completely obvious.
Right. So whether you're taking notes or just, letting this wash over you on a walk, we are going to decode the concepts behind every single question.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll state the question numbers, the questions themselves, and all the options. And then we'll explore the traps and the wrong options and highlight the correct answers in bold for your notes.
Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation, the blueprint of a trial. Question 1. A study design that randomly assigns participants into an experimental group or control group is called as A, cohort study, B, case control study, C, randomized controlled trials, or D, cross-sectional study.
Yeah, so the correct answer here is C, randomized controlled trials.
Okay, that one feels like the name kind of gives it away.
It really does. The core concept is right there in the name, Think of it like flipping a coin to decide who gets the new medicine and who gets the standard one.
Pure chance.
Exactly. That randomness is the hallmark of an RCT.
Okay, sticking with the blueprint, let's move to question 2. Which of the following statements is or are true in case of adverse events in a clinical trial? Option A, an unexpected clinical, familial, or social problem that occurs during treatment with a drug or other therapy is termed as adverse event. Option B, adverse events do not have to be caused by the drug or therapy under trial. Option C, temporal relationship between study product administration and adverse events is critically important. Or option D, all of the above.
So the correct choice is D, all of the above.
Wait, really? Even a familial or social problem count?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, an adverse event is a very broad umbrella. It is simply anything bad that happens after the trial starts, regardless of whether the drug caused it.
Wow, okay.
The timing, that temporal relationship, is what matters most for reporting.
Got it. All right, question 3. To ensure that safety and welfare of the research participants is adequately protected, it is important that the clinical trial protocol is critically reviewed for A, scientific content, B, ethical issues, C, regulatory norms, or D, all of the above.
Again, you'll want to select D, all of the above.
Makes sense. It's like a multi-layered filter.
Right. Think of it as the 3 pillars of review. A trial must be scientifically sound, ethically safe for humans, and legally compliant. Take one away, and the whole thing falls apart.
Okay, let's look at the participants themselves. Question 4. Informed consent is provided after explanation of A, all study procedures, B, risks, C, benefits, or D, all of the above.
And it's D again, all of the above.
They really love these all of the above options, don't they?
You do. But it's important. I mean, informed literally means the participant knows the whole picture. What they will do, what could go wrong, and what good might come of it.
Okay, moving to question 5. Bodies like Drug Controller General India, or DCGI, and Health Ministry Screening Committee, HMSC, are concerned with the following. Option A, regulatory review. Option B, scientific review. Option C, ethics review. Or option D, all of the above.
For this one, the answer is A, regulatory review.
Wait, I have to push back on that. Why aren't these massive government bodies doing the scientific review? I mean, don't they care about the science?
Well, of course they care, but government bodies focus on the law and national regulations. That's the regulatory review.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the actual science is reviewed by separate, highly specialized scientific advisory committees. Everyone has a specific lane.
Okay, that clarifies things. Section 2, keeping participants safe. Question 6. Which of the following is or are monitored in a clinical trial? A. Adherence to good clinical practice, or GCP. Documentation of informed consent, randomization, and study product administration. C. Adverse events reporting. Or D. All of the above.
The answer is D, all of the above.
So monitoring basically means checking absolutely everything.
Yeah, exactly. From the paperwork to the safety protocols, it all gets audited.
All right, question 7. This one has some long options, bear with me. The primary responsibilities of the Data Safety Monitoring Body, or DSMB, are to, option A, periodically review and evaluate the accumulated study data for participant safety, study conduct, and progress of trial. Option B, periodically review and evaluate the accumulated study data for participant safety, study conduct, and progress, and make recommendation concerning the continuation, modification, or termination of the trial. Option C, periodically make recommendations concerning the continuation, modification, or termination of the trial. Or option D, decide the randomization sequence.
Yeah, that is a mouthful. The correct answer is that really long one, option B. Periodically review and evaluate the accumulated study data for participant safety, study conduct and progress, and make recommendation concerning the continuation, modification, or termination of the trial.
That's a lot of power.
It is. Focus on the keywords there. Evaluate data A and D, make recommendations. The DSMB is the watchdog that can actually recommend pulling the plug if things go wrong.
Wow. Okay, question A. Which of the following best describes the advantages of conducting a randomized controlled trial? Option A. It is only effective design for overcoming selection bias of participants. Option B. The result can be readily generalized. Option C. It is a simple, uncomplicated, and non-regulated study design. Or option D, it requires small sample size.
The correct answer here is A. It is only effective design for overcoming selection bias of participants.
Because it definitely isn't simple or uncomplicated, right?
Oh, definitely not. RCTs are huge and highly regulated. But their true superpower is randomization, which perfectly eliminates investigators picking who gets what. That's selection bias.
Got it. Question 9. When is the informed consent obtained from the subjects in a clinical trial? A, prior to participation in the trial. B, just after the trial has started. C, at any point during the conduct of a trial. Or D, at the end of the trial.
It is absolutely A, prior to participation in the trial.
No exceptions.
None. Simple rule, no consent, no entry. It must happen before anything begins.
All right, question 1. Investigators are required to report adverse events occurring during a clinical trial to which of the following agencies? A, regulatory authority. B, sponsor. C, institutional ethics committee. Or D, all of the above.
The answer is D, all of the above.
So you basically just tell everybody.
Yeah, when something goes wrong, you tell everybody involved to ensure total transparency.
Okay, moving into section 3, looking at mechanics and independence. Question 11. A method of allocating treatment such that each subject has an equal chance of receiving any of the possible treatments in a clinical trial is known as A, blinding. B, randomization. C, allocation concealment. Or D, none of the above.
You touched on this earlier. The answer is B, randomization.
Right, the coin flip analogy.
Exactly. Equal chance equals randomization. Blinding is just about hiding the result, not creating that initial equal chance.
Okay, question 12. Which of the following statements regarding document storage and archival after the conclusion of a trial is correct? A, if the data is computerized, there is no need to archive paper-based records. B, the investigator has a right to refuse to show the data even to regulatory authorities. C, archival for a period of 5-15 years as per the requirement of the sponsor may be necessary. Or D, all of the above.
The correct statement is C. Archival for a period of 5-15 years as per the requirement of the sponsor may be necessary.
Wow, 15 years is a long time.
It is, but data must be kept that long to verify results later.
Mm-hmm.
And you can never refuse the regulatory authority, so option B is definitely wrong.
Good to know. Question 13, which of the following is not true? A, Data Safety Monitoring Body, DSMB, is an independent entity. B, DSMB is appointed by the investigators. C, DSMB periodically reviews and evaluates the accumulated study data for participant safety. Or D, DSMB assures that the scientific integrity of the trial is maintained during the period of interim analysis.
The false statement here is B. DSMB is appointed by the investigators.
Is the DSMB sort of like a referee in a sports match?
That's exactly it. And players, or in this case, the investigators, cannot hire their own referee. The DSMB has to remain completely independent.
Makes total sense. Okay, question 14. An unexpected clinical, familial, or social problem that occurs while on treatment with a drug or other therapy during participation in a clinical trial without any judgment about causality or relationship to the drug is known as A, serious adverse event, B, adverse event, C, reportable event, or D, none of the above.
Because there's no judgment yet, the answer is B, adverse event.
So what makes it serious then?
Well, it only becomes a serious adverse event if it results in death, hospitalization, or severe disability.
Ah, okay. Question 15. Clinical trials require review at various levels as per the in-country guidelines. State whether true or false. A, true. B, false.
This is it,
Future.
like we said earlier, with the 3 pillars, right?
Yep, a quick recap of question 3. Multiple levels of review, scientific, ethical, regulatory, are always mandatory.
All right, section 4, stopping rules and ethics. Question 16. The most common method of preventing potential harm to study participants is by adhering to trial stoppage rules based on evidence on unacceptable toxicity or adverse effect rates seen during monitoring. State whether true or false. A, true, B, false.
This one is A, true.
So they have like a preset limit.
Exactly. Trials have preset red lines. If toxicity hits that line, the trial stops immediately. Question 17. Which of the following is true about screening protocol of a clinical trial? A, those who are interested in participating in the trial participate in an interview may have to undergo medical examination. B, eligibility of the potential participant is determined in screening. C, information on study-related procedures and inclusion and exclusion criteria are provided by the study investigators to the potential participants. D, all the above 3 statements are true. E, none of the above is true. F, only A is true.
The correct option is D. All the above 3 statements are true.
It sounds like a lot of communication happens during screening.
It does. Screening is a comprehensive two-way street. We check if they fit the study, and we explain the study so they know exactly what they're getting into.
Okay, question 18. Reimbursements for which of the following raise no ethical questions? A, compensating for the time spent in coming over and the loss of daily wages due to participation. B, for the travel cost involved. C, for food expenses. B, only A and B, E, A, B, and C.
The answer is E, A, B, and C.
Wait, doesn't paying people compromise the trial? Like, aren't you bribing them to stay?
No, and that's a crucial distinction. Paying for travel, food, and lost wages is reimbursement. You're just making them whole. Undue inducement, which is bribing them with wealth, is different. Reimbursement ensures fairness, so anyone can participate.
Okay, I see the difference. Question 19. Which of the following statements is wrong? A, Drug Controller General of India is a regulatory authority in India. B, Institutional Governing Board is responsible for scientific review of projects. C, Institutional Ethics Committee is responsible for ethics review of a proposal. Or D, none of the above.
The wrong statement is B. Institutional Governing Board is responsible for scientific review of projects.
Because they just handle the business side of things.
Right. The Governing Board manages finances and administration, not the science. Science is reviewed by the Scientific Advisory Committee.
Question 20. Which of the following is not a method for identifying and preventing potential harm to study participants? A, adverse and serious adverse events reporting. B, periodic review of the project by Data Safety Monitoring Board. C, close watch on enrollment targets. Or D, regular monitoring of the trial by a pre-identified monitoring agency.
The one that is not a SACE method is C, close watch on enrollment targets.
Because that's just a numbers game, right?
Yeah, watching enrollment targets is just project management, making sure you have enough people. It does absolutely nothing to protect patient safety.
Okay, section 5, diving into committees and analysis. Question 21. State whether true or false. The Scientific Advisory Committee examines the safety and welfare of the research participants in a trial. A, true. B, false.
Right, because that's the Ethics Committee's job.
Spot on. The Scientific Committee looks at the methods. The Ethics Committee is responsible for the safety and welfare of the humans involved. Question 22. If the project is getting funded internationally, which of the following committees looks at the regulatory affairs? A, Health Ministry Screening Committee. B, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. C, Ethics Committee. Or D, all the above.
The correct answer is A, Health Ministry Screening Committee.
Is that specific to international funding?
Yes, in India, the HMSC specifically steps in to review and clear projects that involve foreign funding or international collaboration.
Okay, question 23. State whether true or false. In order for a clinical trial to be ethically appropriate, participants must give their informed voluntary consent. A, true. B, false.
This is obviously
Voluntary being the key word there.
absolutely. Voluntary means no coercion. This is the absolute bedrock of biomedical research.
All right, question 24. Which of the following is false with regard to data analysis in clinical trials? A, baseline characteristics of participants should be compared across study arms. B, interim analysis can be performed if pre-stated in the protocol. C, analyses in clinical trials are only descriptive in nature. Or D, people who are lost to follow-up can be included in the analysis.
The false statement is C. Analyses in clinical trials are only descriptive in nature.
So they do a lot more than just describe the data.
Oh, way more. Clinical trial analysis is highly analytical. You're testing hypotheses, finding p-values. You're not just summarizing data.
Got it. Question 25. Which of the following is false when dealing with serious adverse events in a clinical trial? A, making provision for free treatment. B, informing the regulatory authorities. C, taking action only if 1% are affected by the adverse events. Or D, withdrawing the implicated intervention for the affected.
The false statement here is C. Taking action only if 1% are affected by the adverse event.
Yeah, waiting for 1% sounds really dangerous.
It would be disastrous. You don't wait for a magical 1% threshold. Even a single serious adverse event demands immediate investigation and potential action.
Okay, we made it to the final sprint, section 6. Question 26. A trial can be prematurely stopped if A, a significant unanticipated risk is demonstrated. B, the investigators lose interest. C, the principal investigator retires. Or D, minor adverse events are reported.
The answer is A significant unanticipated risk is demonstrated.
Well, what if the investigator actually does retire, though?
Well, patient safety trumps all. If a major new risk appears, the trial shuts down. But an investigator retiring or losing interest, those are just personnel issues, not trial-ending events. You just replace them.
Makes sense. Question 27. Data Safety Monitoring Body, DSMB, is primarily responsible for which of the following? A, periodically review and evaluate the accumulated study data for participant safety. B, periodically review and evaluate the study conduct and progress. C, make recommendations concerning the continuation, modification, or termination of a clinical trial. Or D, all of the above.
This is a great summary question. The answer is D, all of the above.
They really do everything, don't they?
They do it all. Safety, progress, and those life or death trial recommendations.
Question 28. Which of the following is not an advantage of a randomized controlled trial? A, controls for confounding bias effectively. B, provides high level of evidence. C, can be conducted in the community or hospital. Or D, blinding in trial eliminates selection bias.
The one that is not a specific advantage is C, can be conducted in the community or hospital.
Because you can do basically any study in a hospital.
Exactly. Almost any study can be done in a community or hospital. It's not a unique advantage of an RCT. It's literally just a location.
All right, question 29. Which of the following statement is false with regards to a randomized controlled trial? A, adverse events should be reported to the Data Safety Monitoring Board. B, trial-related documents must be archived after the trial is over. C, drug trials ideally should have a predefined stoppage rule. Or D, ethics committee clearance cannot be withdrawn after initial approval.
The false statement is D. Ethics committee clearance cannot be withdrawn after initial approval.
So they can revoke clearance whenever they want.
Absolutely. Ethics committees wield immense power. If a trial violates rules or harms patients, the committee can and absolutely will withdraw their clearance at any time.
Wow. Okay, final question. Question 30. State whether true or false. It is unethical to use a placebo for the control arm instead of the current standard of care in a clinical trial.
Got it.
A, true. B, false.
This is true.
Wait, I need to stop you there. I thought placebos were like the ultimate control group?
Methodologically, yes, but ethically, no. If a proven effective treatment already exists, that's the standard of care, it is deeply unethical to give a sick patient a sugar pill.
Oh, because you're denying them real treatment.
Precisely. You must compare the new drug against the best existing drug, not against nothing. Ethics always win out.
Well, congratulations. You just masterfully digested 30 dense multiple-choice questions and the core concepts behind them.
Yeah, great job sticking with us. And remember, understanding the why placebos can be unethical or the true power of the DSMB is what makes you a real expert.
Absolutely. I'd highly advise using this deep dive as an audio flashcard session right before your test. Just put it on and let it solidify the concepts.
It's a great way to review.
But before we go, I want to leave you with a final concept to chew on. We started by talking about the messy chaos of human biology compared to engineering.
Right.
As we move into this era of advanced computer modeling and digital twins of human biology, Will there come a day when we can run a perfect phase 3 clinical trial entirely in a simulation without risking a single human life? Or will the beautiful, unpredictable chaos of human biology always require real-world testing?
That's a fascinating question to ponder.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and good luck on the exam.